Before we get to the Spurs Thunder Game 4 reaction video, I have one message for all of you guys watching. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully that didn't blow out my microphone, but thank you everybody for 1,000 subscribers. I cannot believe all the love that you guys have been giving me over the course of the Western Conference Finals and just everything that a lot of y'all have stuck with me through. We've gone from bedroom setups to computer failures to PC shutdowns. There's been a lot that we've dealt with here, and just to hit 1K is surreal. It's unbelievable, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate every single one of you guys who have subscribed and stuck around to help get me to this point. This is just the beginning for me, and I cannot wait to see what God has in store for the rest of this channel. And I got nothing, man. I'm so happy. I cannot thank you guys enough. But without further ado, let's get to the Spurs Thunder Game 4 reaction video. All right, I gotta say it. Get the nuns to every game the rest of the season. I'm so serious. I will start the GoFundMe. Get the nuns to Oklahoma City for Game 5. Get them back in San Antonio for Game 6. Get the nuns in the arena for every game the rest of the season. Everything I said about the Spurs in Game 3 that just really frustrated me. Not attacking the basket, settling for threes, continuing to double team, non-existent. Shout out to Mitch Johnson. And I gave him some crap after Game 3. He is directly responsible for the Spurs win tonight in Game 4. Just a 10 out of 10 game plan. Everything that didn't work in Game 3 was gone, out the window. And you saw the attention to detail, the adjustments. You saw everything tonight in the Spurs dominating Game 4 win. Now it is a best of 3. Let's see what happens. I'm very happy, very pleased with how the Spurs played tonight. They attacked the basket, they controlled the pace from start to finish, came out with the same energy that they did in Game 3, but they didn't take their foot off the gas. They had that killer instinct. Sure, Oklahoma City made it single digits for most of the first half, but once Victor Wembanyama just hit a half-court shot like he was Steph Curry, that's when I knew that the Spurs were probably going to come out swinging in that third quarter, and they did. That was what I wanted to see. I wanted to see killer instinct for 48 minutes. And that was the Spurs' biggest strength tonight because they continued to play to their speed, to their excitement in the fast break, their excitement in the open court. And that's how they thrived on the offensive end. Defensively, no double teams. There was minimal double teams against the Thunder tonight. I loved it because I said that the Thunder need to be able to be limited to just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Spurs had to make Shai Gilgeous-Alexander beat them and not everyone else. Force Shai to go one-on-one because all series, Shai has proven that he can make the right play. He can find the open guy. The Thunder have shooters who can knock it down. And I'll get more about the Thunder's performance in a minute because maybe this is a bit of a fluke, but the defensive game plan by San Antonio was down to a T. Absolutely perfection from the San Antonio Spurs on the defensive end. It was just make SGA beat you, and that's what they did. That is really what they did. He was their leading scorer with 19 points. Defense was the Spurs' identity in Game 4. They were swarming everybody. Jamal Crawford said they were swarming the Thunder like bees to honey. First of all, what a bar by Jamal Crawford. But the Spurs defense was doing that. They were attacking the ball. They were staying one-on-one. They weren't forcing as many double teams. And if they did, it was a smart double team. Someone's trapped in the corner. Try and force a turnover. The Spurs played really smart defensive basketball, and that's why the Thunder had just 82 points, their lowest of the postseason. That was the Spurs I remember. That was the San Antonio Spurs team that I believe is capable of beating this Thunder team and winning a championship. Victor Wembanyama once again showed tonight why he's the best player in the world, and who thought that when you got your best player who's 7'5", when you got him looks, he was going to get involved and that your team was going to build a lead. He took 17 shots in that first half after only taking 9 combined in games 2 and 3. Get Victor Wembanyama looks early, efficient looks at that, finding him on the pick and roll to set up for a lob. They got that going early. They had it going all game. You played to the strengths of your best player, And that's why he had 33 points tonight. And a much better rebounding effort from him as well, because he had just 4 rebounds. 4 rebounds in game 3. He is 7'7" and 4 rebounds. But you know what? Tonight, 8 rebounds, sure, not as great, but he also sat out the majority of that fourth quarter, and the Spurs just continued to keep their foot on the gas, and they dominated the Thunder. And that's why we're here. That is why we're here, because it's now proven that the Spurs are able to go ahead and run away with this. And that's because of how the Thunder played tonight. And a lot of that has to do with that J-Dub and AJ Mitchell were out for this game. And that was huge. The Thunder looked like a team that was missing their second or third best player, however you want to say it. Their second, third best player, who is an all-star, and one of their huge pieces of their bench who has been phenomenal all postseason. The Thunder really looked like a team that was missing some of their most important players. They shot 6 of 23 from 3. I doubt they do that again, and a lot of them were open looks as well. They were giving up looks to Jay Will. Alex Caruso didn't have a magnet ball. Jared McCain had a few looks as well. Kenrich Williams, Aaron Wiggins were getting some shots up. A lot of these looks for the Thunder were open, and maybe on a different night, they fall. But the Thunder simply will not shoot 6 of 23 from 3 again. I feel like this was definitely a fluke performance for the Thunder, and like I said, maybe you can credit the Spurs defense. But I doubt the Thunder shoot this bad again. And I said that after game 1, that they just weren't going to perform that bad. And sure, tonight was a night where they just looked like the weaker team because the Spurs' backs were against the walls. They were not going to go back down to Oklahoma City 3-1. Because if you went back down 3-1, this series might have been over. Hard to go down into an arena 3-1 where they're ready to hoist a Western Conference trophy and advance the NBA Finals. But now, the Spurs have the opportunity to maybe take control of this series, because who knows what's going to happen with J-Dub. Who knows if AJ Mitchell's going to come back? He's not. He's got a calf strain. So right now, the Spurs took advantage of him. And they need to continue to do that if J-Dub is going to be out for Game 5. Because we know how important those Game 5s are in these series. Whoever wins Game 5 normally takes the series. If the Spurs could go back to San Antonio up 3-2, it could be wraps. Who knows? Devin Vassell. Got to talk about him. I've been praising everything he's been doing this postseason. I have nothing more but that. He was efficient. He took great looks, knocked down shots, but this dude is doing everything on the defensive end. Not just that, but doing everything in the game of basketball to help the Spurs win games. He's doing everything little. All the fine details. He's being very disruptive in the passing lanes, playing phenomenal defense since the postseason has begun. Devin Vassell has been a huge playoff riser, and he's a big reason why the Spurs are in the position they are. And in his first playoffs, this is what he's doing. You need your role players to step up, and the Thunder's role players have been separating this series. Devin Vassell, who has been awesome all series, showed up once again. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Keldon Johnson. This dude is struggling. He's been struggling all postseason, and they left him in for garbage time, and he could barely get anything going. I'm not sure if he's in his own head right now or what's going on, because this is not the Keldon Johnson that we have seen before. It's simply not. He's been struggling. His tunnel vision, when he gets the ball in his hands, it's just ruining possessions. He either turns the ball over or takes a bad shot, and they're almost the same thing. His three-pointer is not falling. He's making bad decisions with the basketball, and that sucks because I'm a Keldon Johnson fan, huge Keldon Johnson fan, and to see him playing this way, it's just not fun to watch because Spurs fans know what he's capable of, and he's not there right now, and I thought this would be a better matchup for him because I felt he had a bigger opportunity to play that style of bully ball with some of OKC's smaller guards, maybe with Chet Holmgren. He just hasn't succeeded. Julian Champagnie is another guy who's struggling right now for the Spurs after having a decent postseason as well. I don't think he hit a single three tonight. And that's where the Spurs really rely on him, is to space the floor and shoot threes. Now, I'll give him some credit because he is still rebounding the basketball well. He is still playing solid defense. Julian Champagnie has become much more than a floor spacer and a shooter. And I will give him credit because yet he's still doing little things here and there that are important to why the Spurs are going to win games. But you know who did show up tonight? Someone who hasn't played a lot of postseason basketball. Harrison, Mr. 100% Barnes. With the way that the Wings have been playing, why not give Harrison Barnes some run? I mean, Keldon's been struggling. Julian's been struggling. Put the vet out there. Let him go. He had a quiet scoring night. I think he only had 5 points. But he had a very impactful 17 minutes of action. Little things that a vet's supposed to do to help his team win. He was in the right position. He was fighting for rebounds, making smart plays. You have to give credit to where Harrison Barnes was tonight, because that was some really important minutes for him, and I'm very impressed with it. If the wings of Champagnie and Keldon continue to struggle, Harrison Barnes definitely has earned some more minutes just based off this game. And because of his veteran presence, you probably want to leave him out there as well. Carter Bryant struggling as well, getting in foul trouble, really trying to figure this game out on the fly. And so if all three of them are struggling, Harrison Barnes deserves some opportunity. He absolutely does. Luke Cornett was better tonight too. Yes, I've said all series that the Thunder role players and their bench specifically have been a big reason why that the Thunder had a 2-1 series lead before this game. We've all seen the scoring margin between the two benches. But tonight, the Spurs role players of like Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett played their best games of the series. Dylan Harper was significantly quieter. But when you have your starters playing the way that they do, Wemby with 33, Fox, Castle, they had double digits as well. Devin Vassell had double digits. When your starters are playing so well, and with the way that the Thunder bench was struggling with the Spurs defense all night, sometimes it's okay when your bench is a little quieter. But someone's going to have to step up now that this series is tied. Whether that's Dylan Harper coming off the bench and having an impactful 12 points. Whether that's Harrison Barnes coming off the bench and hitting a few threes. Right now, that was a fluke. I really think that the Thunder are not going to play this bad again. They got punched in the mouth. This was the Spurs' best punch. Down 2-1, you want to protect home floor. You're not going to go back down to Oklahoma City 3-1, and the Spurs gave them everything that they had. Thunder won't play that bad again. I'm going to ride that horse. I know I've already said it, but they will not play that bad again. But the Spurs laid out the blueprint. Do not throw double teams. Attack the basket, play with pace, move the ball, stop settling for threes. Everything that they did in Game 3, which led to their loss, was all gone, and the game plan was the exact opposite. It was the exact opposite. And that's why the Spurs managed to tie up this series. We'll see how this goes, because now it is a best of 3. I fully believe that this series is going to go to 7, because I doubt either team is about to lose 2 in a row. So, to make sure you catch all of the reaction videos here, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and turn on that post notification bell so you never miss my newest upload after Spurs games. And until next time, this is Ty Talk Sports signing off, and I will see you all next time.